I got hit by a car last week. Yeah. Well, I didn't get like full on hit by a car, but I was just crossing the street on my way home, and somebody was turning off of the intersecting street, and didn't see me, and like I saw her coming in like my peripheral vision, and like 4 years of movement training and my reflexes just went woof, and I like did a matrix like slide, and the car like grazed me. I still
just pole vault.
I still fucking ate shit in the street, but I didn't get full on hit by this car. And I was like, fuck, and I got up and I was like, what the fuck? And she rolled the window down and she was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I was all pissed off, and I like walked away, and then she drove away.
Damn.
I mean, I'm fine.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Fucking. No one's safe out there.
Damn, she is gonna have nightmares. just be like mid dream and just like fucking hit somebody.
Yeah.
And then like get out of the car, like, are you okay? And like nobody's moving.
Oh god. Yeah. Dude. Yeah. Careful out there.
She's gonna wake up. She's like, I'm never driving again.
I bet she was on her fucking phone. Stay off your phone, people. If you're driving. Or if you're going to hit somebody, hit me full on so I can get that insurance payout. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to really take me out, fucking go for it.
Yeah, get that money and then get some stem cells. Just shoot them into wherever you got hit.
Yeah. And then it'll be like a super limb. Yeah. And then you come back with revenge.
You end up getting better.
Yeah.
Like, you're better than before you got hit.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, nice. Find her where she parks her car and just like lift it up with our super generated limbs. Throw the car into the fucking lake. Lady.
Damn.
Watch where you're going.
With her in it?
No.
That'd be too far.
No. Well, I hope she's racked with guilt. And maybe now she knows not to be on her phone.
Yep.
All right.
You were.
It's a new day.
You know who you are.
You know who you are, lady. So what's up? We're here. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. So
you know who's not pretty good?
Who's not doing pretty well?
A couple of these guys.
Drug dealers around the country.
Yeah.
They're not doing great right now. Well, so we're in Illinois. We're in beautiful Chicago, which is, in some people's eyes, different from the rest of Illinois. But the entire state is about to get legalized weed. Recreational weed come January 1st. But like around the country, it's heating up out there. We got people dying of like these weird vape cartridge illnesses.
Lung diseases,
crazy pneumonias,
which has got to be like the worst. Like,
yeah,
not being able to breathe. You just like are so like end up getting so tired and
oh my god,
you can't breathe. Like it's like you're in a like the ocean.
Yeah,
and it's just coming like right about at your chin level.
Ooh.
And you can't take a deep breath. The weight of the ocean on you is like too much for you to take a deep breath. So you're just struggling for that breath and then wheezing. And
like, trying to cough out this ocean, but it never stops coming in.
You're tired, and all you want to do is lay down, but that makes it even harder to breathe.
Yeah,
you gotta sleep standing up.
Does like hanging from your feet cure pneumonia if you just like drain all the fluid out of your lung?
I don't know, but I don't know how long you think you could do that before like your head explodes with just blood.
Oh, God. Is that a thing?
No, probably not. But maybe, do you think it causes any kind of...
I think you would have to keep moving, keep your blood pumping,
There you go.
You would have to do
a treadmill on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Nice.
Be an astronaut.
For a little while.
For a little while. Yeah, that's going to be the best way to treat pneumonia, ladies and gentlemen. So this is from NBC San Diego 7. Over 500,000 pot vapes seized in 2 years as busts rise in U.S. From New York City to Nebraska, farm country to California, authorities have seized at least 510 marijuana vape cartridges and arrested more than 120 people in the past 2 years, according to AP. Including that those arrests is a Wisconsin mother and her 2 adult sons and 5 other people that were charged this fall in what investigators describe as a black market manufacturing operation that churned out thousands of cartridges a day packed with THC, the cannabis chemical. Minnesota authorities found another 77,000 cartridges in a man's suburban Minneapolis home and car in September. Alabama, New York City. New York City says that they've seized 200,000 illegal cartridges since this summer.
What do you think on this, huh?
I mean, the war on drugs is terrible and it's failed.
I
and
see
this
some
is
job
like
creators, small businessmen.
Yeah,
getting
right.
Thrown in jail.
They're just out there hustling.
It's okay for some people to do it, but not these people.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, they're not held to like the same standards as the legal operations that are doing it, and so they could be using the vitamin E or whatever.
Yeah, so people are dying out here. If you're smoking on that, illegal state concentrate, you might not know what's in it. These are just some like guys in their house that are just putting shit together. Mm-hmm. One of my kind of hilarious story from this year. Well, they're talking about these in Wisconsin. Two 20-year-old guys had like a whole operation going in their house. They were running it for 2 years. He had 10 people working for him. They were cranking. They were sending in empty cartridges from China and like making the concentrate in-house. And they were paying employees per hour. And then he found out, figured out that it was just cheaper to charge them by the cartridge. It would make them work harder, and it would save him money. They would get paid less, but it would just like increase production. Which I guess, I
think that's a better method.
In the black market,
you could still pay them more per cartridge so that they're not making less.
I don't know.
I
think there should be, this thing about the black market production is that now there's no labor laws to protect people who are doing work like this, Mm-hmm. But people are dying, right? They're dying of lipid pneumonia, which is like fatty, like the oils are building up in people's lungs. Mm. And it's linked to additive called vitamin E acetate, which is added to like lotions and some foods.
You
or
have
something
vitamin
like
E
that.
oil, just like the oil that you can, like massage oil and stuff. It's good for like repairing like your damaged skin or something. So like if you get a cut and it's healing up and you put vitamin E on it, it'll help it so that a scar doesn't develop yet.
Yeah. So apparently they're adding this to make the concentrate more viscous, which is probably, it probably is more visually appealing, I guess, or it helps with production. I don't really understand.
Maybe it's them trying to, like, they don't want to seem different than the legal cartridges. They want to be as similar to them as they can. Yeah. And maybe in the way that they're doing it, it's coming out too dark, or I don't know what. Or
I've seen some like a couple videos online where it does look more viscous than, it like moves faster in the cartridge than like a legal market, like one from California would.
Yeah. So.
But this is what happens in a black market,
This is what happens when you make things illegal.
Yeah.
Or like when you're saying like you're not allowed to do something, you're just creating like a opportunity for, a black market.
Yeah. So, the FDA the FDA is not the FDA, the fucking DEA is cracking down on this. This is just more reason to, talk about like states' rights and stuff. This is where it's not working. This is something where we need a national solution, because even right now in legal states, dispensaries can't bank in a normal way. They're not allowed to have like legit bank accounts. They have to do all their transactions in cash.
Yeah, and I remember there were stories about how like they have to hire security and like armored trucks and everything to transport their money, because like there's people doing like black ops operations or whatever, going to like steal all their money and shit, because they'll have like millions of dollars or whatever just like in their dispensary. Like the employees would get kidnapped. Like they have to be like, there's like security guards at the exits and everything. I heard that like in Denver there was like if like the employees aren't allowed to go outside because like somebody could just pull up in a van and just snatch them, and then like I don't know.
Well, the federal raids were heightened too, like during the Obama years through to now, when legalization was popping off in the states, but still it's federally legal, and at a whim they could just shut you down and take all your fucking assets. And,
that's why your state should back you up if they can. I don't know.
I mean, it's
like they should give you.
It just doesn't work like that here,
Public defendant or whatever.
Yeah, but in the meantime, they take all the plants, they take all the money. Everything's in cash. It's easy, It's
fucked up.
But it's coming to this new legalization in Illinois is supposedly the most progressive and like forward-looking out of all of the states' individual situations. So it hits January 1st. The bill was signed into law on June 25th by Governor Pritzker. Turned out not to be a bad guy. He's doing some good stuff out there. He got rid of right-to-work laws in Illinois. It's pretty dope.
What are right-to-work laws?
Like, you can be like employers have a lot more firing power in right-to-work states.
Oh, like right to fire?
Yeah.
What do they call that?
At will.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's... It's still in place? Or I
think it starts January 1st.
And they won't be able to just fire you whenever?
Right.
Oh. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, it's great. So here's what legalization is going to look like. You can have, if you're 21 or older, 30 grams of raw cannabis, infused products like edibles and stuff containing no more than 500 milligrams of THC, and 5 grams of concentrate at any given time. Non-residents may purchase half that amount while they're visiting. Yeah, I mean,
look at that.
It seems kind of restrictive on like how much you're. I guess this is
how much you're allowed to have on you.
This is more like a decrim.
30 grams. That's a good amount.
I mean, yeah, but like, why? I don't have a limit on how much booze I'm allowed to have in my house.
Well, I mean, like you got to think that sometimes these things take baby steps, and like Illinois, Chicago is a very liberal city, but the rest of it's pretty conservative, and they might not really be interested in legalizing marijuana.
Hey,
and
I get it, but let's keep our eye on the prize.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not stop thinking big.
Yeah,
because we can go All right, so they're going to expunge criminal records, which is huge.
Yeah.
Governor clemency is going to be used for convictions of up to 30 grams. These expungements will be automatic. For amounts of 30 to 500 grams, a clemency process also applies. However, the individual must petition the court to vacate the conviction. This is going to lead to 770,000 cannabis-related records being expunged.
Nice.
It's huge.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot more competition in the job market.
Well, it's good. It's going to be a lot more people, participating in their local economies.
Yeah,
and stuff. This is probably disproportionately black people and brown people, and those are people who are not currently productive members of society with this.
It's be huge. Just in Chicago.
Yeah, just in Chicago alone. Not to mention like the suburbs and the rest of the state. So the program is going to give benefits directly to those who have suffered because of the war on drugs. It specifically provides additional points for business applicants, access to financial resources for startup costs, and resources to communities that were hardest hit from the war on cannabis. So you can be a social equity applicant. You're like a business, or you're a group of people who want to be the staff of a business who've been directly impacted by prohibition here. And you can, like, if you're arrested with like a possession or something like that. And so it's got to be owned 51% or more by those who have been affected by the war on drugs. Or for businesses with 10 or more staff, 50% of the workers or more must qualify. Yeah. That's huge. So they have a cannabis business development fund of $12 million to give people to help grow
who've been
businesses.
Affected by the prohibition.
Yeah,
damn,
it's pretty cool.
People that are anybody being released from prison?
I mean, probably. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are still serving. It takes resources to.
Sorry, you might have got raped in prison.
Retroactively.
Here's a business.
I mean, yeah. Prison is terrible,
Oh, shit.
And our shit is so backwards in this country. Like, we don't understand day to day, like, people who don't go through the justice system, just how horrible the criminal justice system is in this country. Not only is it terrible to just be like going to court all the time and shit like that and spending money on lawyers, but then being in a physical place where you're like dehumanized and you're like treated like shit and abused and like
kept in it's like a high anxiety like environment. Because surrounded by a bunch of people who you don't know like why they're in, and there's a big rape culture.
Well,
which is,
I mean that's yeah. It's bad. Imagine doing time long term for selling what is now like a cool, like, it's pretty generally accepted. Most people, I think, across all divides agree that weed should be decriminalized, if not totally legalized. I mean, people are still serving time for shit like that.
It's gonna be a weird time, especially like if things keep going as they are. Like Colorado legalized mushrooms.
Or Denver. It's Denver. Yeah.
Well, maybe Colorado will follow, and then other states, and maybe they'll legalize acid and MDMA.
There's a lot of research, or there's a little bit of research that we're limited to doing because of the legal laws here, but there's like some research out there that says like psychedelics and MDMA and all these things could do wonders for PTSD treatment, depression, anxiety.
And we're having like a huge issue with mental health.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, people are people are
the tools are there.
The tools are there, you know. Well, we're so part of it, I think, is that we're just so like
do DMT.
Yeah. Part of it, everyone is so segmented off from each other, you know. I feel like people are living in little islands, and that's, you know, we're losing a sense of community, and that's what's a big part of what's driving people crazy. You know, like social media is giving you a fake internet hug every time you check your shit, you know, and you get notifications, but like there's something about the psychedelics that makes people feel connected with everything and connected with the world, you know. Like if you feel connected, I think that's part of what may make this, you know.
Well, like that's part of what makes us human, and like we're very social beings, and right now with I don't know, like with our smartphones and everything that kind of takes our attention, we are like kind of isolating ourselves more, and so we're not really getting that attention.
Or even out and about, like everyone is, there's a, you know, a sense of fear or like uncertainty or like the sense that people don't make eye contact with each other and they don't talk to each other and they avoid each other, like on public transportation or out and about, walking on the street. Everyone's in a bubble and they're really trying hard not to make eye contact or look at each other, or like everyone is suspicious of the world that they're living in, and it's like very competitive and keeps us individualized, you know. And, you know, it's one thing to live in a city where you could be scared of your surroundings or, you know, the possibility of a crime. It's fair. But, like, that is...
Especially
these are both rooted in a similar thing, you know. It's not like two issues that exist on their own, you know. Us being separated from people we don't want to look at, or homeless people, you know, us being on our phones, us being atomized between each other. You know, I think it all just comes from the fact that we're just like overworked and exploited, and we're just looking forward to our time off to unwind before the next shift, you know.
Yeah. Vacations are like kind of depressing to me though, because
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like just like a weekend, you know. It's like Sunday, you get Sunday off, but you know you have to go to bed early because you got school in the morning or you got work or something on Monday, and so it's like it's just fleeting, you know. You're gonna get back home and back to work, and then like that week-long vacation or whatever it was is gonna feel like, you know, just a memory.
There's some research that says that doing more regular, shorter vacations is better for you in the long run, you know.
Way better than like, you know, 2 weeks a year.
Yeah,
or 2 weeks every 2 years. That's what makes it like, because then, you know, when it's over, you're like, fuck, now I'm like, I gotta work for another 2 years or another year until I get like the time off to really go and do something I want to do.
Yeah. But that's part of it too, though. Like in European countries, like they have more paid time off, guaranteed time off, like up to 6 weeks in some countries, you know, and that's like important to them. You know, they get 2-hour lunch breaks across the continent.
Are they allowed to have guns?
Well, I mean, no.
Well,
maybe.
Who's more free?
I don't know. I mean, free is, I don't know, like
subjective.
What do you mean? Like, I'm not free. We're not free because we can buy whatever kind of fucking cereal flavor we want. You know, we're not free because, like, are you free if you have to be at work, you know, like all year, and you can only take a week, 2 weeks unpaid vacation, you know, that comes to you at a cost?
Well, I mean, you know, no matter what you're in life, you have to work to survive.
That's true.
I mean, if you were,
I'm not saying
if you were like in the woods, you would have to do a lot of work to survive.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, even if you lived in a community, you would have to. But that's the thing about, we are also like so
But
we don't reap the reward of what we create. You know, most of it floats to the top,
and we don't really have much say about what we create.
Right, exactly. And that's part of it too. Like, it's part of people going crazy right now. We're outputting a lot. You know, we're creating a lot of wealth and resources. And the economy's doing great on paper if the stock market's doing good and unemployment is low. But, like, most people live paycheck to paycheck. Most people can't afford an emergency, you know, like, that's part of this drug war, you know. The powers that be don't want to legalize drugs because that's going to be a loss of revenue. You know, they have done a lot. I mean, in this country, we have militarized police forces, and if you end the drug war, there's less reason to have military hardware, you know, and then that's less manufacturing for the arms manufacturers and stuff like that, you know, less government contracts to hand out to military industrial complex.
Why can't there just be like National Guard that has that stuff?
National Guard?
Yeah.
Oh, instead of the police?
Yeah.
That's a start, but yeah, I mean,
I think that there should be, you know, some force that has that because of, like, right now with what's going on in Mexico with the cartels, like, you know, moving in, planting crops in California and stuff. Like, I think that there should be people that are like a force that can deal with, you know, another force that is, you know, willing to go to certain, you know, lengths or extents that.
But this is not a problem of, like, force, you know. It's not a problem of enforcement or policing. It's just that there's a drug war. If you make it legal, you know, like, and have legal avenues to conduct business,
and
what
do you think the cartel will do then? Because they still are like a powerful force now. Like, once you make, like, I mean, maybe they would just have to, like, produce more and sell it for less, or they'd have to, like, they'd just become businessmen.
I mean, they would,
they would, like, start a legal business.
No, I mean, they'd probably move to something
they'd start a tech company.
Trafficking or something. Because trafficking is...
Oh, shit, you're right. That's,
you know, I think...
So then, now...
I think we're kind of far off from the decriminalizing sex work nationally. But maybe not. Hopefully not. I mean, we got some people running on that.
Yeah. That's hard. That's a hard one to run on. Probably.
It is, because this is like a puritanical society. But it's the right thing to do.
We need more nude beaches. Start there.
I don't know. That's a huge, you know, the puritanical culture war. That's like a, I don't know. We're gonna fight that for a while. You know.
We should have, like, big exchange programs with Australia.
Yeah.
Just have a bunch of Australians walking around.
I don't know. Yeah, international
you know, in Eugene,
solidarity.
In Eugene, women are allowed to be topless within the city.
That's cool. New York City, too. Free the nipple. Yeah. We can free the nipple. We do all this shit at once, you know.
I've always been able to.
Yeah, no, that's male privilege right there, is being able to show your nipples.
I got nipples.
I got nipples.
Can you milk me?
So there's like a limited amount of business licenses that they're going to hand out. For a dispensary, let's see. So for a grower, there's going to be... Okay, so here's the categories. You can get a license to be a dispensary, an infuser, a transporter, a craft grower, or a cultivation center. So a craft grower has between 5,000 and 14,000 square feet of canopy space, and may be separately licensed as an infuser and a dispensary at the same facility. And then the cultivation...
So kind of a grower and a shower.
Kind of... That's like a brew pub. That's kind of cool. Cultivation center can grow up to 210,000 square feet of canopy space.
Wow.
So here's the transition timeline. October 15th of this past year, applicants for up to 75 dispensaries will be made available, or applications for up to 75 dispensaries will be made available. The new businesses will serve in addition to medical dispensaries that get approval to serve adult consumers during the transition. January 1st, sales begin. Existing medical cannabis cultivators and dispensaries will cultivate and provide to adult consumers until additional licenses can apply and get approved. New dispensary license apps will be accepted by this date. January 7th is the application for infusers, transporters, cultivators. March 15th, the state will begin receiving and processing new license applicants. May 1st, new licenses will be issued, and the state will begin a disparity and market study of the cannabis industry. July 1st, up to 40 craft grower and infuser licenses will be issued, along with an unlimited number of transporter licenses. That's all right. Okay. That's some jobs right there. Once the disparity and market studies are complete, the state can issue additional licenses if needed. So that's the transition from this past October 15th through July 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounding pretty all right.
75 dispensaries in addition to... So all of the existing medical dispensaries are just going to turn into... Recreational. Yeah. I think if they want, which they'll probably want to, this money.
Yeah. Right.
So here are the tax situation. The cannabis products will be subject to a 7% tax when they're sold by cultivation centers or craft growers to dispensaries. When you're buying it, so that's one...
It's a double tax?
So that's one tax that hits before it gets sold to you. The next tax is going to be 10% of flour. 20% tax on infused products, like edibles. 25% tax on concentrates. And then that's the state tax on top of that. So we're looking at a 20% tax at least.
Well, as long as that money goes to some good places here.
So here's the breakdown. It's 2% of the tax funds going to go to public education and safety campaigns. 8% to the local government distributive fund for prevention and training for law enforcement. 25% to Recover, Reinvest, and Renew program. 20% to mental health services and substance abuse programs. 10% to unpaid bills. 35% to the general revenue fund.
Those last two.
Very Illinois.
I got some unpaid debts, some parking tickets.
Yeah,
those parking tickets, Chicago.
Shit, they're all fucking contracting shit, construction. Ugh, whatever. It's good.
And then 35%, that's classified. Classified information, where that's gonna go.
Yeah. So here it comes.
Damn, 2% to this education system and 35% miscellaneous.
Yeah, that's too bad.
2% is still going to be a lot.
It's still going to be a lot, but we can go a little farther. Hey, not bad.
Yep, not a bad start.
Cool. It's going to be expensive when it hits.
Yeah.
But that's what it was like in most other states, right?
But it'll be nice to have an opportunity to buy something that's not cartel weed. Not going to give me lung cancer.
Right. Or just cartridges that won't give you lipoid pneumonia.
Yeah.
The butter lung.
Yeah. Ooh, that sounds good.
Ooh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to set your ovens to 400 degrees. We're going to lightly baste the butter lung. Season it. Covered in foil. Bake for 30 minutes.
first what you do, you drown your human in a vat of fat.
Yeah.
So that the lungs really absorb, that fatty tissue stuff. And that's gonna make the lungs like slice like butter, just like foie gras.
Foie gras, which is illegal.
Oh yeah?
Here in Chicago, I think.
But it's fun to say.
It's fun to say, and it's good. I'm not gonna lie. It took torture to make it happen, but foie gras is good. That is kind of the capitalism, baby. Oh, but it's good though.
Damn.
God damn it.
Have you ever heard of the soup where you have to like cover your head with like a napkin or whatever when you eat it?
What?
Because they drown like a baby bird in the soup.
Oh my God.
And I guess like the story about it is like you want to like cover your head with a tablecloth so that God can't see you.
Oh my God.
They're like, dude, like that's how ashamed.
That's terrible. Well, I should just start doing that. I mean, honestly, it all takes torture to make it happen. Might as well put a cloth over your head to,
it's
when
magic.
when you eat anything.
It's a sacrifice.
When you eat any kind of meat. I know.
Well, that's one of the reasons why the Gnostics think that we live in hell. Because you have to consume, you have to kill to survive. Everything has to consume to survive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't even fully understand plants,
Yeah, I think that I'm a firm believer that plants have some form of consciousness.
I may be leaning towards that too.
I've seen like a network consciousness together.
Yeah,
like a lawn, might have a say, on this upcoming election.
Right. I think lawns are probably very like.
What do you think
Joe.
they're thinking all the time?
Ouch! No, ouch! They probably just start panicking when they hear the lawnmower go.
Yeah.
They're screaming.
Shit.
Dad's getting his murder on.
Billy!
See, but no one's even eating that grass. It's just going to waste, That's even worse, It's one thing to kill a plant and an animal to consume it later, but it's one thing to just kill it for aesthetics, Lawns are terrible for the environment too.
Beauty is like the appreciation of beauty is another thing that makes us human.
Yeah, but lawns aren't beautiful. They're fucking boring.
Well, you know why
shit.
Lawns are beautiful? It's because it goes back to our roots from being from, in the savannas of Africa, the grasslands and everything. The most agreeable, picture of beauty is, a waterfall going into, a blue, lagoon or something or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And just, fields of grass.
Huh.
That is what most people agree. What most people would say, in a multiple choice, of pictures of, beautiful things, they would agree that that's the most beautiful thing. Because, that was, an ideal spot to live for us, when we're in, evolving. And that's what they say. I don't know. It could be bullshit.
I mean, it would be much better to just have, an overgrown lawn, just of what the plants that are from there,
True.
It's better for the environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more diversity.
Yeah.
What happens when all the lawns get sick of the same disease and there's a grass famine or whatever?
I don't know.
Then the cows will have no food. Well, grass-fed cows, we'll have to feed them only corn, which I heard recently that...
that's a thing.
That even the grass-fed or the corn-fed cows, for most of their life, I heard that they'll eat grass, and it's just the last few months that they'll fatten them up with corn or something. So even they depend on grass.
That's true.
Plants are very important.
Man, I saw an article today that was potato, smaller crop of potatoes may lead to a shortage of French fries. I'm like, what a weird way to frame a possible food shortage.
Right.
Are we not sounding the alarms on this?
Potatoes are...
Yeah. What the fuck? That's scary.
We're worried about French fries.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's a way to like...
it's a really easy way to grow a bunch of food. Like you can cut a potato up and throw it out your window, and you'll grow a potato field. Like you don't have to do anything.
Well, I mean, it's all the flooding that happened this year. It fucked up all the crops. We only got like half of our food in the soil this year than usual, than what we needed.
You know what I heard recently was that I can't remember who it was, but I think it was on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about how we only have like 60 more like what do they call it, like crop cycles or harvests, like 60 more harvests for the dirt, like our dirt, unless we start enriching it with nutrients again.
God damn.
And so like that's like halt of it, like the existence coming to a halt.
Yeah, for real. Well, even in Chicago, people are like, we're fine here. All the climate change can hit the fan, and we'll be fine.
In the most dangerous spot.
Well, not only is the fucking lakeshore creeping up into the city in some parts, but we're surrounded by farms that feed us that only got half their crop in this year because of the flooding. So no, Chicago, we're not safe from it. Like,
also, being in a big city, like when like an apocalyptic event happens, trying to get out of the city, like when it's just going lawless. Good luck with that.
I don't think it's gonna be a all at once apocalypse. It is what is happening right now. It's a growing inequality. It's like because this is mostly already hitting
idiocracy.
It's mostly already hitting just like poor people and brown people and black people, starting from fucking Hurricane Katrina. That was the first major climate crisis event that's happened in my waking life. But even growing up in Houston, like, it was pretty normal for things to flood, and just, it's a city on a bayou. But then there was a drought for 5 years, and then the fucking rain came back, and then we got 500-year flood, 2 100-year floods. Then Hurricane Harvey was a 1,000-year flood, and then there was more flooding this year, and it's increasing in severity and in frequency. And what's happening right now is that if your property didn't get flooded during Harvey, guess what? Now it's worth more. And so there's what's happening is there is a economic and racial divide that is worsening because of climate change. It's hitting the coastal cities more. And then, we have all these climate refugees that are coming.
We got plenty of space.
We do have. Well, that's the thing. We do have space, but it's going to be more. It's going to be easier to protect the status quo to create a apartheid, like a climate apartheid, a climate segregation. It's already happening right now. We've got indigenous people coming in from Central America who've been working the same fields of lands for generations. It's all drying up. They don't have food. They have to come up here. And what happens? They're demonized. They're made to look as the other. We make them wait outside the border in the heat. We're kidnapping kids. It's already happening. The climate apocalypse is slow, and it's on class and race divides. And when people say the Republican Party doesn't have a climate fucking plan, they do. It's what's happening at the border right now. It's happening, putting people in cages and demonizing people who are running from problems that our government created. It's only going to get worse. The prisons are going to get bigger. They're going to respond more to the refugee crisis. It's going to be made worse by a thinning out of resources around the world. And it's going to hit poor people the hardest. It's going to hit brown people the hardest. And that's where we're headed towards if we don't, fix the climate shit, It's going to be a Fortress America type situation.
Well, maybe everywhere will be like San Diego, just like 70 degrees, 77 degrees,
man. Nah, man. Heat waves are already starting to kill people in Asia. Like,
just moved to Alaska.
That's what's happening, bro. Everyone's going to be moving.
Hey, Alaska's a lot.
Everyone's going to be moving. And, hey, I would love to resettle, refugees.
Let's resettle Antarctica. Let's see what's over the wall, that ice wall.
Yeah. Let's find
the pyramids.
Let's find the pyramids.
Let's find the Nazis.
Yeah. Wait, what? Why? Why you want to fight? Oh, is this
the Nazis? Yeah, they went to live in Antarctica.
Oh, that's right.
Some people think Hitler lives there.
Really?
Yeah.
This seems like a noble fight, especially in the climate age. If they have like Nazi technology that changes the weather, when it's really actually just like factories. Because it's not chemtrails that change the weather, guys. It's the fucking pollution. It's our carbon footprint. It's our emissions. It's making plastics and shit like that.
There's no real way to avoid like changing like the climate when you have 7 billion people and 25 billion chickens and like 17 billion cows.
Well, the cows thing is a big problem, but we have a population of people that we consume too much protein. We don't need to consume as much protein as we do.
We need to be more efficient.
We don't need to be
Everybody has cars, and they're all going to like the same places.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's the thing. The UN scientists, the climate scientists told us that we need to radically change our economy and how we live our lives to save the planet. Mm-hmm. It's a tall order, but they told us it's possible. They said at the time we have 11 years before the shit is locked in. Mm-hmm. And we start to see horrific shit by the end of the century.
What happens if like the other developing countries are just like fuck the climate and they're like they just don't like there's other countries that have billions of people or hundreds of millions of people that can do just as much damage as the US, if not more.
I don't agree with that at all.
You don't?
No, because it's mostly it's not a population issue. It's a manufacturing, it's a transportation, it's an infrastructure issue. It's an issue of extraction of fossil fuels and pushing it as the core means of creating energy in this country.
America's not the only country that does that.
No, well, I know. That's why. But Saudi Arabia is not a developing country. You said developing countries.
What about China?
China too. China's coal production is now. For a while, its green energy production was a good deal of it, but now they've still blown up their fucking coal shit. They're doing it too. It's a global fucking money problem. It's a fucking capitalism problem. Yeah, like it's incompatible with life on the planet at this point,
And not to argue that not to make an argument against change, reforming.
Yeah, no, right.
But I'm just saying, like, what happens when, like, we do start reforming and other countries don't. Like, what are we gonna do?
We can. I mean, that's diplomacy, man. That's the whole point. But we've led. There have been industrial revolutions before, and we can do it again. We have to. I mean, it's a structural issue because the biggest polluters are Western corporations and the U.S. military. But I think people have a little bit of power on their end too. Not to say that like everyone should stop drinking out of straws. You could do that if it makes you feel better. I just like drinking from a cup. But like
peasant.
Everybody can eat less meat. Everybody's given agriculture propaganda from the time they're a little kid that they got to eat meat with every meal and they got to drink milk, and it's just not the case.
Orange juice.
Orange juice is
Glad
fine.
I had my orange juice.
You know what has a lot of protein in it? Broccoli. And fucking, it's okay, everybody.
Well, meat is important,
meat
but there's
is
a lot
fine.
of sources of meat. There's we could diversify our meat sources too.
We could.
There's goats.
Sure.
You know, there's lamb.
But the issue is
there's deer.
There's too much. It's too profitable. It's this. We're hitting a ceiling, or we're moving past the ceiling of like growth. You know, like we shouldn't be processing this many cows. It's taking up land, and we're deforesting the face of the earth to not only grow crops for us and give pastures to cows, but you have to do so much more deforestation to plant the crops just to feed the cows.
Yeah.
That is an exponential fucked up situation.
You're farming the more earth, and the dirt is losing the nutrients and everything. But I mean, unless I guess the cows are pooping in the dirt, then maybe it's helping.
No, it's not. It's not. That's bad.
It's bad for cow poop is bad?
Yeah, I mean, it's not clean shit. They're getting fed all these chemicals and shit, it's also not sanitary because it leaches into the water supplies and the fucking that's what's happening Houston right now. For the past couple of years, chemical plants be exploding, bro.
Like really exploding?
For real, chemical plants and oil processing plants are fucking blowing up around the city, and they're fucking
10 years from now, people are gonna have like
plumes of smoke over the city. It looks like a fucking dystopian novel. People are breathing in carcinogens, benzene and shit like that. For real. There was a benzene cloud over the city, the fourth largest city in this country, for like 5 days. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Chemtrails for real.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I'm talking pretty macro on this, but on the micro local level, this is a reason why we should stop extracting fucking energy from the ground, man. Everybody listening, hello, what are we doing? It's just profitable for a couple of people, but it's suffocating the planet. And it's just this is like all the neighbors. This is all of these people's oil neighbors in Houston, you know? And it's insane. Keep it in the ground.
Have you heard the theory that oil is like a abiotic? It's like the blood of the earth or something.
Oh, it's like a cursed, like we were never meant to extract it and now it's killing us?
Well, like it's like probably serves a purpose to the planet kind of thing. But also like that hypothesis or whatever is that like it can regenerate the oil over time.
I mean, I guess it's kind of happening, but it seems like this is a cursed endeavor. It's a cursed resource. It's made of trauma all of the dinosaurs dying and being smothered by a fucking asteroid. So first you got lots of trauma and forests and like a lot of death caked into this. A lot of sacrifice and bad energy, right?
What about when the oil's lime green? Is that good?
No, it's all bad. It's all supposed to be kept in the ground. They're oil, like this is the remnants of dead animals, ladies and gentlemen, and we're powering our society with a cursed resource, and we're continuing to, it's just like a cycle of pillaging the planet and the people who live closest to the planet, a continuous pillaging till the very end. And it's got to stop.
We need
folks.
to go back to like real horsepower, horses and
fine
carriages.
Well, we're running up on all this quantum fucking technology. Like I want
Teleport.
Quantum locking, algorithm planned public transportation. I want high-speed trains, a high-speed train system across the country, you know? That's all solar powered and whatnot. We can do it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we have to.
I'm into it.
Yeah. Airports are terrible.
Damn. And then, but you know what's going to happen then?
What?
Is with superior transportation technology, it's just going to make, like, you know, more jobs and everything accessible for more people, and it's just going to make it easier to fill a lot of the space that we have. So our population's going to boom. We're going to have billions of people just in this country.
I mean, imagine.
And then you know, climate change is going to get worse. So what do you want, Brendon? Do you want climate change to get worse?
We're gonna make climate change. We gotta do. We gotta.
What's gonna happen when our farts are causing climate change? There's so many of us.
The methane's coming from their mouths. Cows are burping.
Well, we could be burping. We burp.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's.
Is it fine? Why is our burps fine?
Because it's probably not as methane-y. I don't know.
What do you got against methane?
It's a greenhouse gas.
Yeah, well.
Are you a secret agent for big methane, big greenhouse gas?
Shill.
You're a fucking oil executive shill.
We got a lot of methane.
Yeah, well, keep it in the body, everybody.
You know, in North Dakota, they have just these flares all over the place. There's just like fires going all the time coming out of these pipes where they're just releasing like natural gases.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Just all night long.
I've
you look out over, and it's just like such a flat state that you could just look out over miles and miles and miles of acres, and there's just like all these flares.
Man, I remember driving around like Pasadena and just like the eastern suburbs of Houston, and it's just like acres of processing plants, and it looks hideous. It looks like an industrial wasteland. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? There's higher rates of cancer.
Power America.
There's higher rates of cancer over there in those neighborhoods. They're mostly Mexican neighborhoods, and those oil execs don't fucking live out there. You know that they live in
Dallas.
They live in the Woodlands and like the West Side, like Memorial City and off the energy corridor and shit where the offices are. Let's prosecute them. Let's prosecute the oil executives. They knew about climate change for 30 years. I want to see public hearings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Prince Andrew get prosecuted.
Oh, man. How great. Hey.
How come, like, you know, if he wasn't a prince, if he was a normal person, and, like, some people were, like, saying, hey, this guy, like, raped me when I was younger. And, you know, he would be taking it for questioning. And, like, just because he's the prince, he doesn't have to do that.
Hey, he got his 60th birthday party canceled by the fucking queen, okay?
Right. I didn't even get to have a birthday party.
Oh, I hereby announce that I am taking a break from my royal duties and just doing hobbies, traveling, New York City. Right.
Definitely not partying.
Definitely not partying. Definitely not. But, you know, I'll be swiping right while I'm visiting the States. You know that. What do they do? Ugh.
I don't know.
Ugh.
How deep does this go?
I would love to take all the royals' monies. Just take it. Redistribute that shit. Come on!
True. I mean, it's hard to say, you know, because who gets to be the one to say where the money goes?
The people. Democracy.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do it.
Let's do that. Yeah. You know, just tally up the money, and then we'll be like, all right, everybody, get your phones out. All right, where do you want, you know, where to go? What percentage?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Why can't we do that stuff?
Or maybe, like, we could do a global reparations. That'd be crazy. You know, all this extractive wealth is just, like, sitting in bank vaults in Europe and in America, you know. Not just from pillaging fucking the Americas, but also Africa. There's just all this wealth sitting in bank accounts, you know.
So that people can have like power.
Yeah.
It's just like having that, like the purpose of the wealth is to stay in this safe,
right?
So that you do whatever I say,
yeah,
and I can say whatever the fuck I want, and you can't do a goddamn thing.
I can have a cringy ass interview looking like a little boy that got caught avoiding my obvious connections to a billionaire or millionaire pedophile, and nothing. He's fine. He's fine.
Epstein's fine too. He's probably just living in one of his mansions in the Virgin Isles.
Shit, man. Fuck.
How many doubles did Saddam Hussein have?
I can't believe this is...
You know what he did? Face Off.
Fucking, like... One of his buddies is literally the most powerful man in the world right now.
Who? Which one?
The president.
He has a lot of buddies.
The fucking president. Yeah. He appointed that judge who let him off.
Yeah.
To be attorney general, I think.
Which kind of blew this whole thing up.
Which blew the whole thing up. Yeah. But, like, hello, everybody. Not only is he an admitted rapist.
You know what they say?
But he is a deviant on all fronts and has reports of peeping in on teen fucking beauty pageant reception or contest while they were changing and shit. This guy has a history of shit. This guy is an obvious rich predator, pedophile, and the president. We're doing impeachment over what and this and that and the other thing. I don't understand what's so hard about all this. Might everybody... He's running the whole thing. He was running the fucking prison that Epstein is sitting in.
Well, maybe it makes sense why he's dead then.
I mean, right? Oh, God.
There's definitely a lot of people who had a lot to lose if that went to trial.
Yeah.
Because, he didn't want it. He wasn't going to go to prison if he could help it.
No, I mean, he's got mobster instincts, He's gonna do anything he can to stay out of prison.
He was gonna, if he made bail, like, he would have been gone. Never seen him again.
Yeah.
That's like when he didn't make bail. That's like when after that, he attempted suicide, like in July, and then he died.
And maybe even that was staged to prep people.
Yeah. Yeah, and like now they have the two cops that they're like the scapegoats.
Yeah.
And just to like move it along so people like, in the history books when people look back, they're going to look at the two cops that got charged for the negligence and
they're guards.
And people are just going to say like, "Oh, he committed suicide."
They're like two black people.
Are they both black?
They're both black.
Yeah.
Fucking getting thrown under the bus.
One's black and a woman.
Easy fucking narrative shit for this fucking weird administration. This weird evil fucking time we're living in.
What are they like? What's the punishment for them? Like, what are they on trial for? Like, what's gonna happen to them?
I don't know.
Are they gonna go to prison?
Are they gonna probably
like? What's like the worst thing you could do to a prison guard?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll follow up with them. Set up a fund or something.
Yeah. They're doing okay. I'm sure they got some pretty good lawyers. Hopefully. Because they're, already spinning it around, putting it on. Like, why is it that these prisons only had 2 guards watching one of the highest profile cases?
The camera wasn't working. Yeah. I mean, come on. He was on suicide watch. So come on. Well, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna blow this whole thing wide open. Maybe all of the billionaires
forget
truly terrible, and maybe we take a lot of them down at once here.
I mean, think about the human brain and like the capacity to get used to things and like when you have hundreds of millions of dollars and like you can buy whatever you want. Like, nobody can say no to you. Like, what happened? What goes on in your head? For Epstein, he would have scientists come to his island, and he would like just pitch ideas to him. He's like, could you make a particle that I would be able to like put in somebody to make them paranoid, that like make them think that someone's watching them.
What the
like,
fuck?
Stuff like that. That's the stuff that was going on in his head. You know, he wanted to start. He wanted to like bring women to his island and impregnate like a bunch of them, like 20 or something. Oh yeah,
he wanted to create like a Epstein race, Epstein master race.
Like, those are the ideas of a fucking like of a very isolated brain. Like that's just like, I don't. What do you fucking?
Yeah. Well, we'll leave you with this. What comes first? The sociopathy, and then the being rich? Like, is that what is necessary to become a rich guy? Is to be a sociopath, or does the money make you a sociopath, or is it both? And money makes it worse.
Maybe it's a little of both. I definitely think money makes it worse.
Yeah.
It's money, like it's like a drug, you know, like in anything that you become dependent on and like,
yeah,
and develop like an unhealthy relationship with, you're just gonna have some bad drawbacks.
Yeah, for sure. Tight. Anything you want to plug? Polygamy? Yeah, we're still working on polygamy. the everyone marries each other and then we go on strike, and we're gonna change the country. That's like the big one. We're gonna do a polyamorous general strike, and then we'll really start to see changes in the country.
There we go. It'll be one big happy family.
Yeah. I've got 2 shows this week. The Second City in Chicago. Friday night 10:30 is Pillow Fight, and Sunday night at 8 is That Sunday Show. Doing some improv, doing some sketch. Yeah, come by and see me if you're in Chicago. Like us on Facebook, and then write us a review on iTunes. It helps with just like spreading the word. Give us a cool 5 stars, you know, whatever.
Leave us a comment if you want us to expand more on a certain topic.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, or just like come and talk shit, because that's always hilarious.
Motivate.
But don't do that. Don't write us a good one. And keep an eye out. We might have some Patreon stuff coming. So yeah, we'll see you all around.
Word.